Okay, so what we're going to do is just briefly go over what is a Waterhackweek project, and the highlight of all things about Waterhackweek for me is the projects. Whatever comes out of the project, it's always a surprise, and you can't tell in advance what it's going to be. You can prepare data sets, you can like brush up on code, but the creation of like what results from a group of people who've never met before or never worked before, and what emerges is my favorite part. So that's why I call digital infrastructure a social construct. And one thing about projects is this year we want to just think about, as you're working on your project, especially since it's digital this year, where is your team from? Where are you working now? Where are the locations of the data and research? And how would you build a land acknowledgement around that? We have some guides, and we can have some discussion about how to do that. As with most things with Hack Weeks, everything is on a spectrum. So there's some types of projects that are more curriculum based, and there's some types of events that are more project and hack based. So you could spend all morning and all afternoon working on a project. If you were at Astor Hack Week is mainly projects, right? So at Waterhackweek, we try to split it up so it's mornings are tutorials and afternoons are projects. Also, what the projects emerge into becoming also fall along a spectrum where we've had projects that develop new curriculum, and we've had projects that develop new software libraries, and we have all sorts of projects in between. So whatever is your team decides as an outcome is going to be is a great option. It's an opportunity to also just build skills on how to work with diversity, to bring in diverse ideas, and to really create something new that's more than just a cumulative addition of everyone's ideas, but really create something that wouldn't have existed before without everyone in the team putting in their contributions. We are working on both technical norms as well as pro-social norms. So the project team leads and the data science leads, each team is going to have a team lead and a data science lead. And the data science lead may not know the details of all of your data set or your research problem that you're pitching, but they can help you with the technical steps that will hopefully help expose your group to fair standards, it could be anything in the range of making it more findable, making your work accessible, interoperations between different platforms, making your models reproducible, those types of technical topics. Whereas the team norms, we want to understand, how do we do team science in a way, first of all, it's a team of new people, but also it's being completely digital. It has a whole layer of issues and things to think about, that some are benefits and some are really challenging. So we're really interested to know, how does your team use pronouns, or is that not working very well? Or how do you interrupt everyday bias and stereotypes that commonly show up in STEM fields? How your team figures that out, we want to meet with the team leads at least once a day to work through how that's going and how to share what we're all learning. So there's a few steps that we're going to go through. And the first one is the project sign up. And so that's the Google Sheet that's in Slack. The first thing that you will do is just add your name to the pitch list. So if you have an idea and you want to share it, this does not commit you to leading the project. It's just commits you to, it just gets an order of people who have an idea to share. And then the next step would be to use that same project sign up sheet and add a description of your project so that people can sign up for it. And in that sheet, if you can tell us where on YoTribe you will be, we've got a water cycle picture on the background so that we can orient to, maybe someone's in the precipitation area, maybe some people are near the ferry. Just let people know where you're going to be so that they can come talk to you about your ideas. So And then once you form a team, the expectations are that we'll have a GitHub repository, and we'll have we'll share and work through HydroShare as much as possible. So we have a shared community archive at the end of the week. You'll have your own Slack channel, and we'll rename one of the rooms A through H for your team. So in the team work and in the team project, so this project pitch is a picture from last year. Scott was yawning, and that's me just screen grabbing and covering his face, not to ignore him or embarrass him, but we are, it's a very much just be yourself in the pitch. Don't feel, well, feel however you feel, and everyone, it'll be a normal feeling. So the project pitch is meant to be relax and just share ideas. And then during the project itself, you know, we don't know in advance what people are going to bring, and the exploration and the self-organization of the experience is part of the process. So it's a great, I guess I would expect to be surprised. So one thing that happens at Hack Weeks is if you're too loose in your structure, then you bite off a, you know, too big of a project, that, you know, we'll try to steer you away from that. But we also don't want you to go too far in structuring your project too much, because you may be missing out on ideas or collaborators that you hadn't thought of before. So for example, last year's projects covered a range of topics from groundwater, climate change, eco-hydrology, modeling, snow, and that's, you might have a result that's a map or an app or a new set of functions or a workflow. So the project roles are roughly as we have them written here. Project management is led by the project lead. You don't have to know how to solve your problem. You don't have to know all the details of the data or the data science, but coordinating the leadership and supporting the team and bringing, making sure everyone's learning objectives are being met is the main role there for the project lead. And the data science leads, we're going to work together to have one, you know, whatever you're pitching, the data science and the organizers that are here, we're going to sign up for your projects that we think we can help with and that we're interested in. Most people, I would say all of our group is here because we want to do the projects. So we like the projects as much as everyone. And so everyone sharing the coordination and organization of the whole week means that we all get to be a part of the projects together. So let's see, the details of all of that is just as to prompt your creativity here. I know this is an example of a poster from AGU that I wanted to share. And I just wanted to, since we're so digital and everything is so cyber oriented, we're totally open to creativity in how you put your data together and how we display it or anything. So just, this is an example of a poster that they knit the colors of the change in the climate record for the annual average at that location per this legend here on the blanket. So just an idea. And in the background of all of this, we are collecting a lot of information and metrics to understand how do we all learn as much as possible while we're here. So with that, are there any questions on the next steps? This is a picture of, you know, it's a graph that we put together from last year where we had, for everyone who attended the Hack Week, you can see groups of people who kind of already know each other and some groups of people who don't know each other based on co-authorship. And then the unmet research need is the thing that when we form these teams, to pitch a project to meet an unmet research need is the fun and exciting part. So let's give people a minute to put up the pitch list or ask any questions in the projects channel.